The Pride Month is over. Finally, I couldn't be even more happy to be in the end of the journey. So, since it's over, can we talk about it a little bit? What Pride was supposed to be? Pride Month is over. I want to ask a simple question. What was Pride originally supposed to be? Because generally, I thought Pride was about something bigger than who you sleep with. I thought Pride was about celebrating the fact that people are different. People have personalities, different backgrounds, cultural struggles, different lives. Pride was about treating people with dignity even when they are not like you. Somewhere along the way, that message changed. Now it feels like everything revolves around one thing: who you sleep with. Honestly, I do not think that is what pride should be about. Pride should be about what you are as a person, your character, your values, dreams, personality, the way you treat people. These things are what makes you you. Who you have sex with is probably one of the most not interesting part of your identity. I mean, think about it. When you meet people, you do not usually ask them who you sleep with. Rather, you ask about their job, family, hobbies. These are things who makes the person interesting. When pride becomes pride, what is ironic is that philosophers warned us about something like this centuries ago. They described pride as one of humans' danger, not confidence, but pride that turns into narcissism. Pride that makes people believe they are above criticism. Pride that makes disagreements feel like an attack. I think that it is exactly what we have started seeing. Judaism and Christianity warn about this in Torah and Bible. People get angry when you disagree with them. They think you attack them personally. That is not what disagreement is about. Disagreement is about discussing the ideas. Pride should be about being confident in who you are. Pride should be about being confident in who you are, not about being better than others. When pride becomes about being better than others, it's no longer about pride, it's about ego. Ego is not something to be celebrated. It is not something to be proud of. It's something to be worked on. We should strict, be confident, humble. We should treat ourselves and others with kind, strong. We should strive to be ourselves without an apology. The tolerance paradox. The political left often presents itself as a defender of freedom of speech, diversity, and tolerance. What happens when someone simply disagrees? If you are a conservative, if you are religious, if you question ideas, you often might immediately be labeled as hateful, ignorant, or a bigot. Is it really tolerance they fight for? Is it diversity? I don't think so. Diversity should include diversity of opinion. Freedom of speech should include the right to disagree. If one side is allowed to speak without being attacked, that is not tolerance. And that's what left was saying. But look how it ended up.
When a conservative speaks on a college campus, anything can happen.
We're not gonna fucking eradicate anyone!
Outrage boiling over at the University of Buffalo.
Mr. Knowles calling for an eradication of transgenderism is a call for genocide.
Hundreds of students and community members gathered in protest.
Do you have anything else to say?
Chanting, picketing, and some even needing police restraint.
You want to tell me why I should leave? Because transphobia is beta behavior, and you are a beta male. You should leave.
Get out, man!
No, I'll take the mic.
I
Just
am
ask you
serious.
questions.
Get out.
You fascist? You look like one.
Do I?
Yeah. You know if we ask you a few questions?
No, I do mind. Thank you.
What?
My producer
Well, I think that was really peaceful, the label explosion. Another thing I want to discuss is something I do not understand in its labels. Years ago, people argued that they did not want to be defined by labels. Today, it feels like we've created labels, even more labels than there ever was before. LGBT, then LGBTQ, then LGBTQ+, LGBTQIA+, now it's 2SL LGBTQIA+. I think I nailed it.
Nope.
Then more categories and subcategories of subcategories and subcategories became like, what's this umbrella? Like, you really need all this? If the goal was moving beyond labels, why are we constantly creating ones? I mean, think about it. Do we really need all these labels? Do we really need to define ourselves by who we sleep with? I do not think so. I think we should be defined who we are as a people. Our values, passions, personalities. These are things that makes us unique. Not who we sleep with, not with labels we identify with. We should be working towards where labels do not matter, where you are not judged by who you sleep with. Oh my god, you know what I realized? I sound like leftist in like 2015. And what a coincidence that right now it's a conservative point of view. The end of privacy. Then there are pride parades. Again, this is my opinion. I think we have lost something like privacy. Today people are trying to make the intimate parts of themselves public, sometimes through revealing clothing, sometimes by making sexuality they public identify. Privacy used to be something meaningful. Not everything about us needs to become a performative. I mean, do we really need to know everything about each other's lives? Do we really need to share every single day detail about our relationships, sex lives, personal struggles? I think we should be able to keep these things private, and they are stripping us from our privacy. Your sexuality is not your identity.
Identity.
Your sexuality is not your identity. Oh my god, I finally said it. I do not think our sexuality should define who we are. If someone asked me to describe myself, I would not start with who I sleep with. I would talk about my values, my goals, personality, family, faith, work goals. That's my identity. Sexuality is part of my personal life. I do not want to share with anyone else beside my loved one. We are minds, hearts, and souls. We are multifaceted human beings. We should not be reduced to the one aspect of our lives. We should be seen as people with strength and weakness, with passion and values. That is what makes us interesting. And that, I think, brings us to hookup culture is not a progress. This connects to something bigger, the hookup culture. People call it progress. I honestly think it is the opposite. I think it's regression. We are beings, we have consciousness, we can control our impulses of simply following them. Just because I desire something does not mean it is good for me. For the intimacy, it's not just physical. It is about trust. It's about commitment. It is about sharing your life with another person. That is not repression. That is about choosing something over something temporary. Hookup culture is not a progress. It is a step backward. It is a rejection of what makes us human. Because we are animals, but we have consciousness. And God gave us consciousness to make conscious decisions. I think that makes sense, even for atheists. The double standard. Here is another inconsistency I notice. If sleeping with people is empowering, why is it judged differently depending on who is doing it? And it's not about that women can sleep with many men and men can sleep with many women. No, it's not about this. It's different story. We are past that, okay? It's not that. I think neither should do, but it's not about that. It's about if a straight man sleep with many women, he's called a fuckboy and misogynist, sexist, and whatever. But if a gay guy sleeps with many men, it's empowering. He's so cool and it's polyamorous. All thing. It's so empowering. No matter now, it's no matter if it's it matters. I'm sorry, it matters. If it's polyamory and there are gay couples among, it's good, but if it's like women with many men or men with many women, it's wrong. I mean, both are wrong. Every other option than sex with someone you love is wrong, but I see some hypocrisy in this hypocrisy. Criticizing an ideology is not hating people. And this is what I struggle to explain, because before I try to explain, I'm yelled at that I'm a bigot and homophobe and all this type of shit, honestly. People often assume that because I criticize parts of pride ideology, I must hate these people. I do not. I criticize the idea, not the people. I am an addiction counselor and I want to be a psychologist. I dedicated years of my life helping people. Why would I do that if my motivation were simply hatred? And there's something private I want to share. I was woke for like, I'm 20, but my whole primary school and my high school, I was woke as fuck. Like, look at this shit. Why I look like that? What the fuck? And I was in really liberal high school. I thought I was a boy. I thought I was bisexual and all this type of shit. So, guys, I really was like you. I had colorful hair. I tried like do piercing on my face. I was doing this extravagant makeup. I don't know if I can find the pictures about. I really was struggling. I had really deep depression, deep anxiety, the panic attacks. I was struggling. That's why, and there's something happened in my life that I was forcing myself to believe I'm bisexual. It's a and because I was there, I know it's not something natural. It all becomes from trauma and from sadness. I'm not saying every gay guy has trauma, that's why he likes boys. No. But majority of those are because of trauma, are because of loneliness and wanting to show off self because you want to be noticed. And what I noticed is that when liberal woman finds a man, she becomes less and less liberal. She stops dyeing her hair. She becomes more feminine because that's how we work. That's how masculinity and femininity works together. And by the way, can we notice how I never seen, like personally, I had tons of gay friends and whatever. As I said, I was in liberal high school. But when there is two people, same gender, there's always one man, one woman. What I mean? Okay, there's two women, but one is masculine. Prove me wrong. And why is that? Because that's a human nature. Masculinity and femininity works together. That's how we're made. And speaking of masculinity, what deserves a month of attention? If we could choose one issue that deserves a month of attention, it would be honestly be mental health. Man hatred is so popular that if you're a woman and like men, you are not girls or whatever. I'm not into this social media shit, but when I was, I saw that everything that men were treated really bad. I'm not saying men are purest angels in the world. No, they do stuff, but women does too. And trust me, men struggles a lot. For most of my life, I spent time with men. I had mostly boys friends. I mean friends that were boys, okay? And I think we should understand them more. Like, they do not have this comfort to express themselves. And if we have progressed in mental visibility, I think men still struggles more because there's a thing. I will do another video about it, but shortly. It's about men physically are stronger, of course, but socially it's about they do not have comfort to talk about their emotions. And because of these emotions that cannot be revealed, they simply put it inside, and when it breaks, it can even be to turn into domestic violence. So instead of hating men, I think we should understand them more and do the progress, the real feminist progress of allowing men to be men wow. But also, what is it to be man? I think I do not want to talk about it now. I want to talk about it in another video, but it's about men talking freely about emotions. I'm not saying to be like women, of course not, to be the emotional one, etc., but to be able to express the feeling, process the feeling, and move on. That's what I think is about masculine feelings. Because women processes differently and men processes differently, and it's great. We do not want men to cry out like women, to express their feelings like women, but I think we need to say men should be allowed to express it, process, and move on, because they do not process it or express, they hide it, and domestic violence and self-hatred, everything starts. And I think that's what we should focus on. Many men suffer in silence. Many struggle with addiction. Too many die by suicide. Those conversations deserve visibility. We should be talking about health. We should be promoting relationships, healthy identity, and healthy lifestyles. The real meaning of diversity. You do not have to agree with me. Of course, that's the point. If diversity means anything, it should be include diversity of thought. If inclusion means everything and anything, it should be include people with opinions. Otherwise, we are not celebrating diversity. I think we should be striving for a world where people can disagree without being attacked. That's all. I think that's all.